What is good, everyone? Welcome to the channel. Today it is ridiculously hot out here, so you get to watch me sweat profusely, all in the name of bringing you information about life in Japan. But hey, I do it for you guys, so it's all right. And it's actually really nice day, despite the heat, so it's a good day to be out and filming. Today's topic is things that would irritate your average, ordinary American upon moving to Japan. Now, these are things that I guess I'm addressing specifically Americans because I'm American myself, so that's what I can speak most authoritatively about. And they're things that genuinely irritated me when I first got here. Obviously, they weren't deal breakers because I still live here, and they weren't things that, made me hate Japan or anything like that. So they're generally small things, but they are definitely things that Americans in particular are going to find irritating about life in Japan. So, what are these things that I'm talking about? Let's get into it. Okay, before I start with the things that irritate your average American about Japan, I would like you to please offer a cold glass of karupis to the like button because it's so hot out here. Now, if you thought I just said cow piss, you're mistaken. I said karupis, C-A-L-P-I-S. If you don't know what it is, Google it. It is a popular cold yogurt drink in the summertime here. And after, offering that karupis to the like button, I do recommend that you hit the subscribe button as well because YouTube has made a special deal with the International Olympic Committee that the more subscriptions that come into Japan-based YouTubers, the more gold medals will be awarded to Japan. So, help Japan out a little bit. Subscribe to the channel. Okay, now, the things that irritate Americans about Japan, I'm going to start with 3 that are definitely based on America's consumer culture. As we all know, America is a very heavily consumerist society. It's all about business, money, spending money to make ourselves feel happy about ourselves. Yeah, it's a bit of a mess, but it's America. And when you come to Japan, you're going to find things here about consumer society that are going to irritate you. The first one is, in Japan, 5% and even 3% are considered discounts. Yes, you can go into a store and find something marked down 5%. And as an American who's used to 50% off, 60% off, 80% off, 5% is just, why are you even bothering? What's the point of that? And yeah, that was my attitude when I first saw those things. Like, 5% discount. Why even bother putting the sticker on it? Now, Japan does have sales that'll go up to 50 or 60% off, but that's kind of the trick. The sign will say up to 50% off, and when you go into the clothing store, it'll have like one rack of absolutely terrible clothing that you're like, well, that's why these didn't sell. Those will be 50% off, and then everything else would be like 10% off or not even on sale. The second consumer-based one that will irritate Americans after moving to Japan is no special orders. America is the land of special orders. It's actually kind of a reverse culture shock that I get when I go back to America and listen to my family make all these special orders off the menu. Like, oh, okay, so this thing has this sauce and this thing has this topping with this side, but I want to mix them and I want to do this one and this one and this one. Let's all, entirely new order. Basically change everything on the menu to be exactly how you want it. I mean, Burger King's motto in America, have it your way, right? We invented the Subway sandwich shop, which is you basically create your whole entire sandwich from scratch. So Americans love to customize everything. In Japan, it's not really done, especially not in restaurants. There are some places where you can get special orders, like Starbucks in Japan will do special orders like America, but if you actually go into a Starbucks and do it, they seem kind of surprised, because even though it's technically possible, you get the impression they don't actually have to do special orders all that often. Japanese people, for the most part, just go in and order off the menu. There is a cultural reason for this, and that cultural reason is the store or the chef is considered the expert, and they are the professional who is offering you the best thing, the best combination, the best recipe. And doing special orders with it is ruining that professional's effort to give you the best. It's a culture of omakase, where you go into an expensive sushi restaurant and you don't order off a menu, you just say to the chef, omakase. And it's basically the chef will make you're going in and you're asking the chef to just give me what's good. Just give me what you want to give me. You are the professional expert. And that's why special orders, or I guess one reason why special orders aren't really a thing in Japan. You expect the store or the restaurant to give you the best they have, and your special order is just going to ruin whatever that is. The third and final consumer-related irritation for Americans upon moving to Japan is that there are no returns in Japanese stores. Basically, once you've bought an article of clothing or an item off the shelf, it is yours. You can't go back and say, I'd like to return this. The size wasn't quite right, or the style was a little bit off. And if someone gave it to you as a present, can't return that either. Basically, Japan is just a no return policy country. Some companies will do it, like Nike Japan will still do like no questions asked, free returns. But for the most part, that's not normal. And I was talking to a friend who suggested that this might be why second-hand shops in Japan are so successful. It's because, you can't return an article of clothing that you don't want, so you take it to a second-hand shop, and basically they give you a little bit of money, and now they have a pretty much brand new clothing item to sell on their shelves. And it's why secondhand shopping in Japan is so awesome, because you can go into secondhand shops and find really nice clothing, often with the tag still on it, the original tag, I mean. And the clothing will all be in great condition because, well, someone decided they didn't really want it and they couldn't return it. In America, gift receipts are a thing. When you give a present to someone and you're not sure you got the right size or style, you provide them with a gift receipt that is just, a barcode that has no price on it, so that if they decide they want to return it, they can go to the store and do that. Yeah, no gift receipts in Japan. They won't ask you, would you like a gift receipt with this? They don't exist. At least as far as I know. So yeah, no returns, 5% discounts, and no special orders. Those are the three that will irritate your average American consumer about Japan. Now, there's two other things that I want to add to the list, and the first one is the Japanese habit of parking backwards. Now, they are taught this in driver's ed, and it's actually a good thing. I don't actually knock this practice, and I do it more often than not myself. But they're taught that it's safer to back into a parking spot, because while you're backing in, it's not particularly dangerous. But when you pull out of your parking spot later, it's going to be safer because you're facing forward and you'll be able to see the traffic and anyone walking by. So I get it, and that's why I do it myself. However, it's done without thought a lot of times. And what irritates me, or what I should say irritated me back when I first started living here, was when parking backwards served to block traffic. Like literally, there are cars in the street waiting to turn into the parking lot where someone is parking backwards, and they can't turn in because they're waiting for that person to complete their parking. And so traffic on the street is literally backed up because everyone's waiting for this one person to finish backing in so others can turn off the street and then traffic can continue as normal. Or there'll be like 8 open spots in a wide open parking lot, and the person in front of you decides they're going to park in the very first one and they're going to back in, so you get to sit there and wait. I don't know. I guess I'm asking for a little more situational awareness when it comes to when and how you back in. Because there are times when I'm like, ooh, if I back in right now, I'm going to hold up like 4 or 5 cars behind me, so I'm just going to go into the parking spot head first. And yeah, then I just have to be extra careful when I back out of that space, but I feel like I haven't inconvenienced anyone if I do that. But yeah, I've always said that in Japan, I think Japanese people are generally better drivers than Americans in a lot of ways. But when it comes to parking, situational awareness in Japan isn't all that great. The final item I'd like to bring up, and this is actually the one that still irritates me to this day. It's the one that I haven't really gotten over and still bugs me when it happens. And that is the amount of noise pollution from sound trucks driving around neighborhoods making announcements. Japanese in general have a much higher tolerance for noise pollution than Americans do. Part of the campaign or political campaigning in Japan is to have sound trucks going around the town announcing your candidacy. So you literally have these vans with giant speakers on top driving around going, Watanabe, Watanabe desu, Watanabe, Watanabe Yutaro desu, yoroshiku onegai itashimasu. Like, it's just ear-splittingly loud, and all it's doing is announcing the name of the candidate and, you know, trying to get name recognition, I guess, when you go to the polls. But it's so loud. I used to teach in the junior high school, and these trucks would go by the school and basically interrupt our lessons because you couldn't hear anything except Watanabe desu, Watanabe yoroshiku onegai itashimasu, Watanabe Yutaro desu. Yeah, still irritates me now. It's not just political season though. There are trucks that drive around neighborhoods announcing that they want to pick up your old appliances. So you'll have trucks going around be like, aircon, microwave oven, and they're like this loudspeaker piped announcement on a loop announcing that they want you to bring out, you know, these old appliances, and it's like their small business. They can refurbish them or, I don't know, sell them in Russia or something. I don't know what they actually do with them. But I've on numerous occasions had my video filming, like I'm walking around a neighborhood and I have to stop filming and wait for one of those trucks to go away because they're asking you to bring out your refrigerator. And it's so loud you wouldn't be able to hear me talking. Even the police do it. Police cars will drive around neighborhoods here piping out safety announcements from the loudspeakers on the police car. I remember last autumn, it's so inane. This police car was driving around the neighborhood announcing, "It's autumn now. It's getting dark earlier. Remember to turn your headlights on." Like, seriously? You're shattering the peaceful quiet of this neighborhood in order to make an announcement about being sure to turn your headlights on. Something that, frankly, I doubt is much of an issue anyways. But yeah, sound trucks, safety announcements, all of this extra sound pollution that goes on. So yeah, that last one is definitely one that still bugs me about Japan. So, what do you think? Any of these things irritate you about Japan? Any that if you came to live in Japan, you feel like, ooh, that would be really hard to deal with? Or, you know, have you adjusted to these just like I have, except for the sound truck one? Let us know in the comments below. Again, please offer a nice cold cowpiece to the like button if you haven't already, and help Japanese athletes get more gold medals by hitting subscribe. Thank you so very, very much for watching this particular episode, and look for my other content. I put out a new video about Japan, society, life, and culture every single Friday, so look for my past videos. Thanks again for watching this one, and I will catch you next week.